Welcome once again to Channel 18, and this morning we have as our first guest Robbin Kelley, the cemetery administrator. And Robbin has a big event coming up on November 5th, and she wants to tell us all about it. So why don't you go ahead, Robbin?
All right, we'll be having our pre-planning. It's kind of like a little seminar. This year we're going to do a luncheon, which is a little bit different than the past. It's going to start. It's on November 5th. It'll be from 10 to 1. From 10 to 12, we'll have speakers. We have about 9 speakers that'll be talking on different aspects of the pre-planning field. And then we'll have a little luncheon with sandwiches and soup and refreshments. And that'll give people time for question and answer. And there'll be tables set up with all the vendors around the room.
Very good. Now, what kind of subjects are they going to talk about?
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about each one of the speakers. We have Ann Gagan. She is a bereavement director from Hope Health, and she's going to talk about how to manage the holidays after grieving a loss.
Wow.
Will Remillard, our veterans agent from the town, will be talking about veteran services, the required documents, and the benefits of being a veteran. Christine Damery, she's from Dole Bale and Ames Funeral Home. She's going to be talking about pre-planning your funeral services and what you need to get into order. John Blute from Morris O'Connor and Blute Funeral Home. He's going to be talking about locally owned funeral home experience. Kevin Considine, he's from the Harwich Police Department. He's going to be talking about unattended deaths if someone was to pass away at home, and also the prescription medication safety. He just wants to bring that to everyone's attention. We'll have Elena Medeiros. She's the Community Relations Director for Royal at Home and Royal at Harwich Village. And she's going to be talking about a home away from home, it's my decision, and the alternatives of living in like a home environment rather than in a nursing home. Tom Blute from Henry T. Crosby and Son is going to be doing information on monumentation, veterans markers, the difference between the different stones available. Barbara Ann Foley, our Council on Aging Director, she works closely with me in setting up the pre-planning seminar each year. She's going to be talking about programs to help avoid loneliness, you know. I will be talking about purchasing your final resting place, the available lots in town, you know, lot usage now. I don't think a lot of people are going with cremation this day and age, and the differences for purchasing for cremation as opposed to a traditional or casket burial. And then we're going to have an attorney, I believe it's Arthur Crooks. He'll be talking about wills and trusts and stuff, paperwork that you probably want to get in order before any event should happen.
Well, that's quite an event. I mean, you get an awful lot. Everything. The only thing that seems to be missing is a religious service.
Yeah.
Now, I know religion and public service is supposed to be quite separate, but how can you separate them in a death? I don't
Well,
understand.
I believe that the funeral homes usually coordinate with the different religious avenues,
okay.
and that they make it part of the services that they provide. We at the town do not do that.
Right.
We do have a lot of people that will come who have had someone pass away during the year, maybe in Florida or somewhere else, that usually come in the summertime, and then they request from me if we have any local clergymen that could preside by, you know, just a graveside service, because a lot of people are now opting just for like a celebration of life, maybe a little graveside service, and then maybe a little celebration somewhere else, maybe at a restaurant, as opposed to a funeral home. So people have different ways of
doing things.
of doing things now than the traditional going to the funeral home, having a wake, and then a burial. So.
No, I went through the funeral home and the burial, you know, all the time. So I'd miss that, but the rest of it is all very interesting and very important.
Correct.
And so...
Yeah, you don't want to leave these arrangements. I started doing a pre-planning seminar because too many times people would come to my office and call me and they had nothing arranged. They didn't have a funeral home. They didn't have a cemetery lot. They didn't know what to do. And it's a lot of information in one day, especially when you're grieving. So you kind of want to get these in order so that your loved ones or whoever you leave behind do not have to make all these decisions in a very short time. And this way, if you shop around, you can save money, you know what you're getting yourself into, and you're not making rash decisions because, it's a very difficult time, and you want to make it as easy as possible on everyone involved.
Well, that's a very good idea, and it's very well planned, I might add. And so... is that about it?
It is. We would like people to either call Barbara Ann Foley or myself, or you can shoot us an email. I will be having flyers set up around the community center to let us know who's going to be coming because we are serving lunch. We want to make sure that we have enough food available for the people attending and enough seats in the room. So it will be in the multi-purpose room here at the community center. Again, it's Thursday, November the 5th at 10 o'clock. And 10 to 12. Each speaker will only be speaking from 10 to 15 minutes. So at the end, if you have any questions, you can go around to their tables. They'll have information for handouts. I will have information on all their information on how to get in contact with any of the people that are speaking in case you want to contact them at a later date. Because it is a lot of information. I just want to make sure that, if you forgot to write down somebody's name or contact information, that you would have it when you leave.
People should have an attorney.
Yes.
And that's important to go through. Because a lot of things you'd be surprised when you sit down and talk with one, how many things are unsettled.
Yes.
And so that's an important area to get settled. And you want to be sure that you have a gravesite.
That's correct.
Because if that isn't done, you have to find one. And so those are very important. And you should have a church or whatever you want. And that would also be important. So, there are a lot of very important things there.
Yeah, I do have on the town website our My Pre-Planning Guide, which walks you through all the information that you would need that you can download. So if anyone wanted to go to the Town of Harwich website, they could download My Pre-Planning, which is a guide if they cannot make it on, whether you want a cremation burial, a casket burial, all the information that you would need to put on your death certificate, your children's names, do you have a cemetery yet, what your final wishes are. So.
Now, how would they reach that?
If they went to the Town of Harwich website, they click on Cemetery Department, and on there there's forms they can download, and on it there's just a pre-planning guide. They can download that. It's in a PDF form. I will also have them available. I'll print some with me and bring them with me to the seminar if they would like them.
Yes, that would be a good idea. And people need to have some guidance when they get into this, and if they don't know anything, your plan will give them a lot to do.
Right. A little bit of homework.
A little bit of homework. Very good. Well, it's a very important subject, and I'm glad that you're here to tell the public about it, because you don't want to leave people out in the lurch not knowing anything. And so you're going to provide a lot of information for those who don't know anything and those who think they know something.
Right. Maybe they'll learn, maybe there's something they've left out.
Yes.
Yes.
So, well, I wish you luck.
Okay, thank you.
And,